we're working on inverses. We talked about things being one-to-one. We talked about how to verify if functions are inverses or not. So the last thing is to actually go through and find an inverse. So we will do a couple of these and then see where we're at after that. Steps to find an inverse. So first of all, if it's written in function notation, you have to change the f of x to a y. We want an actual equation, y equals something. Then we said yesterday, an inverse switches the x and y. So we'll flip those, solve for y, and at the end, we'll replace the y with this f inverse of x to denote that we've found the inverse. So for example, step 1 says change f of x to y. Step 2, we switch x and y. So our y becomes an x becomes a y. Okay, that's what the inverse does. Now we're trying to get our equation, so we're going to solve for y. So we can subtract the 3, divide by 2. And the final step to show that we found the inverse, we'll put it back in function notation. But this is now the inverse, so we say f inverse of x is equal to x minus 3 over 2. Is that one okay? So let's get this one. So first, we're finding the inverse. We change f of x to a y. What's the next step? Okay, so my y becomes an x becomes y. And now we're going to solve for y. What do you think we should do first? Here are my fractions. So I get xy minus x equals 2y plus 1. Right, I am trying to find y. Remember, I'm solving for y. I do have a y in 2 spots. What we need to do is get everything with a y on one side and everything without it on the other side. So I'm going to subtract over this 2y and add over this x. Both of these terms have a y, so what do we do now? Add a y. So the final step to get y by itself would be to divide by the x plus 2. Or sorry, x minus 2. So my inverse, f inverse of x, is 1 plus x over x minus 2. All right. I want to also give the domain and range for both the original function and the inverse. So I need the domain. What I use is like a subscript. Show me the domain of the function and my range of the function. How do we find domain? We talked about domains a lot. Okay. Yes. In a fraction, we know the denominator can't be 0, so that means x minus 1 can't be 0, so x can't be 1. So the domain of my function is everything except 1. So negative infinity to 1, union 1 to infinity. Right. Range. Do we have rules for just looking at something and knowing the range? No. Okay. But let's think about this a second. The domain of the function. Those are the x's in the function. What do those become in the inverse? They become the y. So the domain of the function is the same as the range of f inverse. Now you can write them as two separate lines if you want. But domain of the function and the range of the inverse are the same. What would the range of my function also be the same as?
Inverse of the domain.
Domain of our inverse. The range, so the y's in the original became my x's. So the range of the function is the domain of my inverse. Now I may not know how to just look at this and tell the range of my function, but can you tell me the domain of this inverse? We have a fraction. We know in a fraction, the bottom can't be 0, so x can't be 2. So the range of my function, domain of my inverse, is everything except 2. Negative infinity to 2, union 2 to infinity. Do we have questions right there? Why don't you guys try this one? So we have y equals 2x cubed minus 1. Then we switch x and y. Solve for y, so you add the 1. You have to divide by 2. Then what would you have to do? Do you need plus or minus with that? Do we? No. You add plus or minus if it's an even root, so if you add a square root or a fourth root, you have to. For an odd root, you don't. So our inverse, f inverse of x, is the cube root of x plus 1 over 2. I didn't ask for it, but could we do the domain range on this one?
Yeah.
The domain of the function is equal to what? Range of the inverse. Looking at my original function, there's no fraction, no square root, so what's my domain? The range of the function is equal to the domain of the inverse. If I look at the inverse, we have a fraction, but does the denominator ever equal 0? No. We have a radical, but it's not an even radical, so it is also negative infinity. I'm going to add one more, but I'm going to change it from the one that's on there. I want to do another fraction one because the domains and ranges are a little more interesting on that one. Let's say f of x is 3x minus 2 over x plus 4. So find my inverse. First step, change f of x to y. Second step, so now if I'm going to solve for y, we have to get rid of the fractions, so we can multiply the y plus 4 to both sides. xy plus 4x equals 3y minus 2. Now what? I add over my 2, and I would need to subtract this xy. So everything with a y is on one side, and everything without it is on the other. Okay, they aren't like terms, so I can't actually subtract them, but what could I do? Take out a y. So then you would divide. So y is 4x plus 2 over 3 minus x. So the inverse, f inverse of x. 4x plus 2 over 3 minus x. Is that okay? Let's do domain and range. Domain of the function is the same as the range of the inverse. Make sure also you put those subscripts. Sometimes I just have people say D equals R, and that's really not correct. I need to know the domain of which one is equal to the range of which one. So make sure that is clear. So looking back at my function, so fraction, so you know the bottom can't be 0. So x can't be -4.
Original.
You're a step ahead of me. The range of the function is the same as the domain of the inverse. So looking at this, my inverse, the bottom can't be 0. So x can't be 3. So -ND to 3 union 3 to infinity. Any questions with this stuff? Okay. So yesterday I posted a handout. I told you you won't need your textbook for this whole chapter. I'm going to do handouts for everything. So it's on Classroom. That is due tomorrow. So you have a lot of time right now to work on that.
Quick question. Do I need to finish solving out this one?
You have to do the other one as well.
Okay.
About $4.6 million.
Okay, that's on period.
Leave her alone. Why don't we?
Guys, I'm actually happy about that.
I'm glad you're happy.
Oh, hey! Hey, a lot better than I thought it was gonna be.
Okay, I guess it. Okay. Let's see. I freak out every test. I don't know what it is. I literally look at it and I should know. It's like,
Yeah.
I know it sounds weird, but when it's silent, I get uncomfortable. Because I'm so used to knowing all the time, so when it's silent, I get more stressed out. And everybody was talking yesterday, and the loudness like calms me down. I know it sounds weird, but it like, I don't know why. I think it's because my house is never silent, so I'm not used to it being.
Ours is not silent.
No, she's
My house.
yeah, she
That was like
stayed the night at my
2
house
years
this
ago.
weekend, and my brothers were fighting over my cat. I can't believe that was a surprise. Like, boy, what? That poor cat is gonna go. When's
I don't know.
I still don't know how to do this one.
I feel like it's just always silly mistakes.
Yeah. What's wrong?
No, because I know that poor cat is traumatized.
I knew it was before.
She got ran over by a car. That's why she's a little
Wait,
weird.
what is? Whoa.
What?
I don't just go in.
Chances.
You could have.
Okay.
What'd you guys put for 8?
FFA. It was FFB.
What did you guys put for B? Because I mean 8, because I didn't understand. I got a very FFBA as well.
Wait, can I see what you put?
Would be -3.
Because I feel
What'd you put for 12? Because my 12
We're
wasn't.
not there yet. I think it has to be
Yeah,
there.
magic happens.
I'm just trying to look at these. Where's the puppy?
15, 17 times 9 is not
Oh, I just put it there. We did the same thing in the same way.
So you for sure 10 is Y equals X?
Yeah, it's fine.
good. So then if you're done some kind of -1/2.
why the hell are we doing this?
What we just did.
Yeah, but it's already in Y, so do I not have to change anything?
Yeah, then if it's already y equals, then you go ahead and just.
Okay, wouldn't this be -4?
No, this one, no, it does not.
It does not?
No.
Why is it not, does not?
Y repeats.
What?
Yeah, because after -4 is 16, after 4 is 16. F of x equals y. And so if y repeats, it's not 1 to 1.
But what about